Nope, but I put the thing's broken. Hey, what up? Welcome to Koopa Kast, E3 2013, Day 3. I'm joined by J Money again, Eli back on his throne, Kevin right here.
Hey guys.
And now that we have two new people, I want to ask what we talked about yesterday. Did Nintendo save the Wii U this week? That's okay.
Did they save it?
Did they turn it around, I guess?
It's a good start. I don't think they completely did it. I think if Mario Kart was coming out this year, yes. But I think if it's next year, I think things will pick up this holiday season, but not like it could have. I was hoping for a bigger game this Christmas, and I hope 3D World does well, but I don't think it's going to be that must-buy that they're hoping it will be. But I think it's a great start.
Team Eli?
Mostly what Kevin said. I think it was definitely a good start, but yeah, I would love to see some good games for Christmas, like Smash Brothers and Mario Kart. Would have been awesome.
What could have they done?
Well, first, I think they need to handle when they release information better, and I know they're doing some cool stuff mentioned in Directs, but how cool would it have been to not release X already and then have that premiere at the show? I think that would give it a little buzz, but everyone's like, oh, great, a new trailer, but no one is talking about it. I mean, it looks great, but it's not playable, not anything, and so it's just another trailer. So, I don't know. I wish they would have given us something else to look forward to, maybe a tease of Zelda with a still image or something. I don't know, something else, because the only surprise, there's only one big surprise of a game we didn't know about, and that was Donkey Kong, which was great, but we've seen that game before. It's just HD visuals and new scenarios. But
so why do you think they were so passive anymore? Kind of just seem to rest on what they do and be like, hey, this is what we do.
I honestly think we're still in that awkward period where, we were for the first year in 3DS where they hadn't got their, cards in a row. I think we may even get a couple more game announcements and some direct by the end of this year, early next year. And I think next year we'll start seeing full Nintendo, the bigger games, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, maybe in 2 years a huge Mario title in the vein of Galaxy or something. But I don't know, what do you guys think?
I pretty much think the same thing, that this is a good start, but they really need to be coming out with those, like that big Mario title, like you said, like the adventure title or something like that. And I think that's probably down the line, and I think they're probably planning on something like that, but it's hard to really say without having more information.
Yeah, I think next year they just need to definitely come out with some awesome titles and hopefully get the sales up with the Wii U too, so we'll see some more third-party stuff.
It'd be really cool next year to see maybe some titles that we haven't seen in a while, like maybe that new Star Fox or Metroid, instead of repeating titles that we already saw this year.
Yeah, and think about next year. We have Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, X. Right there, it's already becoming a stacked year, and then we don't even know other games throughout the year. So in those, two of those games are huge multiplayers, and X may be one big multiplayer. So I think next year, and I hate we always say this, but I think that's going to be the real year the Wii U starts gearing up. I still think we're in those titles that's sort of tying us over until, like the 3DS. We got those sort of games, some great games, but it took a year and a half for it to really get into gear, and I think that's happening with the Wii U. Like, Pikmin's amazing, 3D World will be awesome, but I think, honestly, Mario Kart, Pikmin's one of the first ones. I think Mario Kart will be probably the next one that feels like a Wii true next gen, and the Smash Bros. Hopefully new Mario or Star Fox or something.
Yeah, I was just gonna speak out loud now, so my thoughts not full. But I was just thinking, man, Nintendo needs to announce something else. But honestly, they may not have the ability to work on much of it, because think about it. is they're working on Zelda. They announced they're working on Pikmin, finishing it up. They were working on Mario Kart. Half of them working on Brawl. The development team isn't that large to be working more than probably 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
And so we gotta get past these games so we can start furthering along other games. In mind, maybe.
Yeah, no, I agree. They've said in the past that sorry about that. They've said in the past even they've struggled jumping into HD just because it's a new realm for them. So they're still learning, and it's a whole new ball game for them. So it's taking even longer to do that sort of stuff.
I've always wanted to look and see exactly how big their development team is. How many people they have that work for Nintendo.
Oh yeah.
And be like develop one of those first party Mario Kart, even though they're helping Namco's helping them with Brawl, but you see a Mario Kart Pikmin teams now free to do another game.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah. I don't know.
Not counting what are they working on the 3DS. So they're already kind of, you can say, spread a little bit thin, possibly. So that's why some of these other bigger games that we're wanting may be being pushed back a little, as they learn to HD with all these other ones.
Yeah.
They'll be pushed back a little bit until they free up.
Yeah.
Get more games out there. Get these games out there. Free up.
And speaking of 3DS, I don't know what you guys think, but that system's just on fire right now.
Okay.
They got Pokemon in October, Link Between Worlds, and then Smash Bros. Next year. There's no stopping that system.
What do you guys think of Link Between Worlds?
I really enjoyed it. I liked it better than I thought I would.
I have to agree. I don't know, iffy about it, wasn't too sure about it, but it is really fun. Could be one of my, I said this yesterday about Sonic. But, I wasn't a huge fan of the DS Zelda games, but
Did you play both Spirit and Phantom?
I own them both.
Phantom, I've got it in mind.
Phantom ruined it for me because you had to keep going back to that stupid
Time
temple.
yeah.
I didn't like the controls either. My hand would get cramped up. And
We didn't have an XL.
Yeah, I think the visuals and everything controls, I love. Link Between Worlds.
Yeah.
That's one thing I know. The controls them very well.
Mm-hmm.
Link controls very well. It feels comfortable.
And it really feels like an old school Zelda done in a modern time, if that makes sense. I think they did it. J Money, you played
that's how I like the screen and everything. I don't want to control the guy on the screen.
Exactly.
Like that. I want to use that. I've always visioned that way. Having your equipment and everything on the screen easily. Able to switch it and stuff, maps and stuff.
Oh yeah, you're talking about with the stylus?
Yeah. I didn't play what's that? Spirit Tracks. But
It was a cool idea, but I felt like it was so disconnected. Like I didn't have full control.
Yeah, I started it and I just enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Did you play Zelda?
The Wind Waker?
No.
Right.
3DS.
No, I did not play the new Legend of Zelda.
During the demo, did you notice? Which demo did you play? Did you play the temple or the forest?
Hyrule field going into the temple, yeah.
Did you like that? It felt like the original Link. Like you can there's a few times I'm like, yeah, I remember this. Especially when those little red, what are they? Little red thing is shooting at you.
Yeah.
And you have to climb up the mountain. I remember this one. The Link's too fast.
Yeah.
Cool. What else did you guys play?
I played Bayonetta, and I haven't played the first one. And I really liked the second one. It really looked nice. It controlled real well. The demo was a bit long, but that's kind of a viewpoint because that just meant that I waited a long time in line. But that's a good game. Cloudberry Kingdom, I think, took everybody by surprise.
Oh,
Awesome game.
That game.
I'm dreaming about it.
Honestly, that may be one of my most exciting games on the show floor.
That's an eShop title, right?
Yeah. And it is.
And it's an indie title, too.
It's indie, but I think it will be so addicting that you won't put it down. until your eyes like hurt.
And to explain this a little more, I haven't played it yet. And they're trying to tell me and show me videos, and it looks crazy. But I guess it's one of the things you have to play to...
Yeah.
Well, and Kevin was saying before he played it, like, that he wasn't convinced.
No, well, me and Eli were talking around it this morning, and I saw it, and I was like, that so many tile, that's going to be crap. And honestly, the visuals don't do it justice. It's when you understand what's going on, do you realize, holy crap, this is amazing. And it's a simple idea of just auto-generated levels that can be incredible.
And just each time they just get more and more difficult, and it never ends until
Until you can't get past it.
until you die. So, but each level is possible to win. Probably not by a human, but it is possible.
Does the computer give you help with them?
Okay, so what happens is you can play these levels, and you can set parameters for length, how many objects, how many enemies, and you can create it to where it's almost virtually impossible, like 1% error, or you're going to fail. And even if you think it's not possible, there's a mode you can go in where the computer will beat it. And it will even show you how to beat it, and even slow down time and show you exactly where to move by creating the screen, or to show you exactly where to jump or to stand. And so everything, it's always possible to beat it, but it is the hardest levels in the world. Like, I don't know if humans can beat it. It's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's cool.
And we were watching an interview with them that said they created a level and they played it like a whole day before they beat it.
Yeah, it took them like 1,000 tries to beat it, but they finally did. But those guys were good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of a good surprise. What else?
I played Sonic today. I hadn't played that yesterday, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Sonic
was actually really good too.
Did you play it on the Wii?
I played it on the Wii U. I haven't played the,
I need to go
the
back and play
3DS
it.
version yet.
Yeah,
Let me just say about 3DS, it looks better than a Wii title. Like, it puts most Wii games over the last 6 years to shame. Not Wii U. To shame.
Wow.
Like, it looks, like, they blow it up on a screen above it, and so you're just seeing, it's kind of stretched and pixelated. But it could pass as a Wii game. And
frame rate and everything?
Frame rate looks amazing. And the levels are huge. They're just like the Wii U levels, like massive. And one thing about both games, the levels are freaking long.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like those minute or two levels, you see in some games. It's 4 or 5 minute levels, which is great.
I was and people were saying that it's kind of like Galaxy, and I can agree that, it does. You can kind of see how people can say that, this kind of looks like Mario Galaxy or whatever. But I don't think it takes away from how good of a Sonic game it is. I am one of those people who played the classic Sonic titles and really enjoyed those, and I haven't really found a Sonic game to really capture that. And there aren't many 2D side-scrolling portions of this game. It's more 3D and stuff. But it is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to play. I think they did really well with this Sonic title.
Yeah.
And Kevin and Eli and I got to check out Call of Duty Ghosts.
Yes.
When I say we check it out, we sat there while they played a demo for us. It was the PS4 or
Xbox One.
Xbox One version, but it's probably similar on the Wii U. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think I said this to a few people before. It's like they're combining some tactical warfare in it, like scaling buildings, underwater, throwing knives, and a lot of stealth. Most missions had stealth in it, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of sneaking, which was pretty cool, but they're doing some pretty awesome stuff visually. I hope that translates over to the Wii U, because some of those levels were pretty awesome. The underwater, to me, looked amazing. Yeah. The only thing I worry about, it's one of those missions where an AI character in front of you is like, follow me. and you're just following him the entire time,
Mhm.
which is cool. But it's like,
Yeah.
are you really playing? Or are you just
Following.
following?
I've always, I'd prefer to give the mission and let me do it more the way I want to do it.
What do you guys think of the dog aspect?
I'm not sold on it yet. But go on, Eli.
Well, I was honestly scared the dog was going to get shot because it looked so real, and I was going to cry. But yeah, it was interesting.
Like there were some cool aspects of the dog. Like they were going to breach a door, and your captain, the guy who's giving you orders the whole time, he goes and like knocks out the window behind him and sends the dog inside. And you hear a bunch of growling and guys yelling, and the guys run out, bust through the door, and you take them out as they're running through. So that's cool.
Yeah.
But there's a few times where you actually control the dog, kind of almost from the dog's point of view, like you seem like you're above the dog. And I think that's a little weird because it takes me away from it being a dog. If I'm controlling it, moving around as someone, as a person, I don't know. I just don't feel. I'd rather just be its own thing, doing its own thing, controlling it separately from my character. I don't want to.
So you'd be like giving it actions to accomplish.
Yeah, I don't want to become the dog. For me,
well,
it takes it
I
away.
wonder how much that's going to be involved. Like, I could see it getting gimmicky if every level, or most levels, you have the dog in there shooting. Like, I know that skyscraper level, the dog won't be there, obviously.
Yeah.
But I hope it's not utilized too much. But I think it's going to be a pretty cool game, and I'm glad they finally announced it for the Wii U. It's a shame we don't have the release date yet. Hopefully, it's the same time as the PS4 and Xbox One, sometime in November. And what do you guys think?
I'm sure it's probably going to be some, like a holiday release, or at least I hope so.
But yeah, the PS3 and Xbox 360 ones are coming out earlier, which kind of sucks. But
The only cool thing I think with the dog, they can do some dog things with the gamepad.
now that would be cool.
Maybe point of view of the dog's
Oh,
in the gamepad
yeah.
instead of the screen.
Because on the game, they showed it takes over the whole screen. You're
Yeah.
looking at this tablet.
That would be cool
With the
until you
dog.
still have your characters back
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
but it pulls up on your screen. That would be really
That
cool.
would be nice.
Yeah, I can see
Because
that.
basically that's what he's doing in the game.
Yeah,
He's looking
yeah.
at a tablet
They
or
show
a
it
screen.
on the tablet and it zooms in on that screen.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's. You think it'd be something more than just a 360 or PS3 port. Because you think if they were doing that, they would just release it with the others. So hopefully this delay or releasing it later, they put more effort into it.
Yeah, I hope something. Yeah, I just hope they utilize the gamepad in some way.
What else did you guys put in?
Played all the levels in 3D Mario World. And James and I played, we were talking, we were worried the levels were going to be really small and linear, but some of the stuff we saw in the levels were a little bigger, some multiple paths, which is pretty cool. And I really like the clear pipes, how you can decide which way to go, up or down, left or right.
You got to time it in between. Sometimes
Yeah.
there may enemies in there, so you got to time and around them or
Yeah.
go another direction while they spin around.
Yeah. I thought that was some cool ideas. I'm more sold on it than I was, but
And it's growing on me slowly.
it's still no Galaxy. But oh, did you guys play Yoshi's New Island?
No.
What?
No.
That's what I need to try.
Oh, guys, it's awesome. It's straight up like the old
It looks a
game.
lot like old game.
Yeah, and it's awesome. You lose Mario, baby Mario, you got to go catch him. It was a lot of fun. It looks awesome in 3D.
I heard it wasn't as colorful as the old version.
I don't know. I still really enjoy it. I mean, I didn't notice that, but I would have to compare them. I thought it was still pretty colorful. I mean, the colors are very muted. Like, they're not bright reds. They're sort of muted reds. But I don't know. I enjoyed it. You guys play much Mario Kart at all?
Oh, yes. And it's awesome.
Yeah, every time I play it, I like it more.
I still can't believe me and Eli were talking. Is there not a lot of detail in the levels?
Yes, there is.
Oh my goodness.
I think we said this last night. It could be the best looking Wii game.
And that's
Yeah.
that's honestly sad.
No,
I mean, it's
Mario Kart shouldn't be the best looking.
no, it shouldn't, because visuals are important, but they're not important to that game. But that game,
I mean, Pikmin looks beautiful, but still, I think Mario Kart still beats
It just there's a lot of like kind of like a weird realistic
Yeah.
quality
Yeah.
to it. Like
Yeah,
it's somewhat
yeah.
real, but yet it's still in that
But-
Mario world.
Yeah,
They
definitely.
did such a good
and they
job
did such a
with
good job with the backgrounds and like the castle. There's so much in the worlds that's not just these flat walls.
Yeah, the environments are
Yeah.
very detailed.
that.
Yeah.
Tires spinning even from the beginning when you like started. Everything looks so good.
I know.
Fire looks good coming out of the
Yeah,
Mario
it
Kart,
does.
or shooting fireball.
Yeah.
Never did.
And I love the anti-gravity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna change.
I,
Mario Kart
I
much
can't
better.
get over the anti-gravity. It is so awesome.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. Sorry, this is kind of skipping. We'll come back to Mario Kart. But a lot of those games don't use the Wii gamepad a whole lot. Wii gamepad,
Mm-hmm.
like even Mario Kart. You think there'd be some way to utilize it other than the horn?
Just a giant horn.
And I guess you could change control schemes, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It just
You
seems
can also, I think you can bring up a map as well.
yeah.
But I do think that they could use it for other things like
Is the map on the screen?
Well, the horn's on the screen is a giant button.
You mean,
on the main screen.
I.
To be honest, if you're looking down at the map, that could be dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be. If I had to look at it, I would.
It'd be cool
What?
if you could have it in a rear view mirror, so stuff like that. So.
One thing I was hoping they would do is move like the item down to the touch screen.
Oh yeah.
Go-
But-
so you could like hit it, go wait.
Oh yeah, I don't know how
You
you
gotta
would.
flick it forward to go forward.
No.
Flick it back. back.
Or let you hold it.
Just
yeah, put your hand there.
Two items.
Or it would be cool. I don't know how they would do that, but if they had like a double dash area where you could collect a couple different items, maybe not in like the regular Grand Prix, like against your friends, but then you could select which one on the touchpad. But they did announce card customization. That would be cool to decide on the touchpad. Seeing
Right.
which one and flicking through it. But
I know. Oh yeah. Do you think they should have done something like they're doing with Smash Brothers and had a 3DS version
yes,
and the Wii version?
Yes.
Communicate with each other. Even if it was like Mario Kart 7, and he wasn't all the levels on 8, but
Yeah.
maybe like some of the levels that somewhat similar. Will have some moves.
I think that would be awesome. Because honestly, that would be nothing but help the Wii U. Because 3DS players would have a Wii U.
Mhm.
That would be awesome. But they may not have the resource, or they may be working on these things. But yeah, that would be a cool idea. And another thing they need to add to Mario Kart Wii U is what they have in Smash Bros. Individual item selection. So when we're playing with friends, we can make it only blue shells, or only green shells, or just banana, stuff like that. I want a complete customization on everything. And I would even like cart opponent AI to not just be 50, 150, 100, 3 CCs, so I'm not sure, but 1 through 10 like or Smash Brothers. So you can create some really insane AIs. That's just amazing.
And we were talking about what type of like battle modes do you think they could do or want to do with it?
I think a really cool one would be on a giant sphere. And then maybe people on the inside and outside who can like transition between the two, like these weird portals or something.
Would it be like a coin, gather the coins, or the balloons, or
honestly, I like the coin and balloon battles, but I want them to create new battle modes.
Yeah. That would be cool, yeah.
Because those modes are great and they're fun,
But they feel a little archaic sometimes.
but they do them like over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So just to have something just a little bit different.
would you want the battle modes fleshed out more? Because to me, the Wii and Mario Kart seem to be the battle modes kind of suck.
Yeah.
They're just kind of like
Just so much variety.
Exactly. It was just like we're gonna have just a few here. I want to care about it.
Yeah.
I like the battle modes because it's different. I don't always want to race. I like some of the
And I thought what was cool is they did for the DS Mario Kart. They had like these missions you could do.
Mm-hmm.
We had to like slide and go through gates or collect certain coins and stuff. I thought that was a nice variety. Come up with something else like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or even I think it would be cool a track builder in Mario Kart, using a touchpad to draw and create certain stuff.
Share it.
Yeah, share tracks. I don't think they would do that, but I just think there's a lot of cool ideas to expand on it rather than just the 4 cups than the 4 legacy cups.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would still like that, but more. And I'm not just talking about more cups, but more variety in it all.
And would you still have to blow up your balloons?
No.
Into the bike of the game?
No, James, that's a terrible
I
idea.
remember when I first got it, I couldn't do it. I was like,
Well, the DS mic was terrible.
and then I had like one balloon, and everyone else is all 3 of theirs.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot they can do, and I hope they do a lot. Real quick, a level they need to do is a Mario Galaxy level where you're on these huge planetoids, jumping from planetoid. And James and I were talking, like, going in the air and like catching the gravity to rotate, fly out of the orbit, kind of like a galaxy.
Right.
Would that not be cool?
That would be kind of cool. And I don't know what other characters they would include in Mario Kart, but I'd like to see kind of like expand on the character.
Like throwing even Link and Metroid just out there, making like a Nintendo card.
That would be.
That would be cool.
That would be.
Speaking of characters, what is your guys' reactions of the 2 new characters that we saw for Smash Bros?
Oh, the 3. The Villager, Mega Man. Wii Fitness Trainer. I love how they start the demo or the like, and a beloved franchise, and then pops Wii Fit.
That's what
I was like, this is retarded.
It seemed like more of a joke.
No, that's what I was saying
Like, I
yesterday.
wonder if that's what they were going.
I thought because Miyamoto leaves the stage and last thing he says is, "Oh, you guys can organize this franchise right away." And it's like we feel like this is a joke, but they wanted to think the opposite of what we want.
Yeah.
It's another like we fake game. That's what I thought at first.
Yeah.
And then
Then it was pretty funny. They're revealing Smash Brothers.
what do you think of her or it as a character? No.
I think it's cool. I think it's weird when we get towards too many human characters. Like Solid Snake was cool, but he looks like a human, even though this girl is stylized.
She's a human.
She looks human, so I hope there's not too many of them. But I don't know. I think she'll still be fun. I love how when they showed the trailer, she has exercising moves and yoga moves.
Yeah, spikes you with yoga moves.
It's crazy, dude. But what gets me excited about that is I think we're going to see a lot of weird characters like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think a me might pop up in there. I mean, what other franchises could there be that we haven't thought of yet? I mean, there's tons.
Like for me, like it doesn't really bother me who they add as long as they keep the core the same. Like,
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like they had King DDD added to the last one. That was going to see what I could have done without him. Same thing with probably the Animal Crossing villager. I can do.
Yeah, although I don't understand. One of his moves is tripping and dumping a bucket on someone. And then what was it? Chopping down the
Chopping down the tree.
I don't understand how that works.
And I don't know if there's going to be anything like final smashes in these, but what would theirs be?
This is the dumping the bucket.
He
He pulls out his fishing rod.
Or he pays you off.
Throws smells at you or something.
The fitness trainer will probably balance boards just appear under all the characters and they'll have to balance. If they don't, they fly off screen. No, I don't know. But I actually kind of hope they get away from the final smashes because I felt those were really cheap.
Mm-hmm.
It took away from the strategy of fighting to just get the ball and I don't know. But speaking of Mega Man and third-party characters, they'll probably have Sonic back in there. I don't know if they'll have Solid Snake in there, but is there anyone else you guys hope there's in there? Because I actually didn't see Mega Man coming. It'd be
neat if like maybe they threw in like Rayman or something like that.
That would be
kinda
cool.
interesting.
Yeah, that would be cool. Or the Call of Duty dog.
Okay, whoa.
Or Call of Duty dog like the Nintendogs and
Speaking of 3DS, I mean, Smash Brothers, I'm going 3DS. What do you guys think about the visuals of the 3DS Smash Brothers? Kind of that stylized black borders, almost slightly cel shaded.
I like
I
it.
really like.
Yeah, it's almost like they kind of have a slightly drawed look on the edges, kind of chipped away. That was pretty cool.
I really like that reveal trailer where they started with the 3DS versions and they morphed it to the.
Yeah, because it was a cool
Or
callback from
stuff.
Melee to Brawl and 64 to Brawl, how they showed kind of the first ones in Morph. I think that's such a cool idea. That game's going to be great. The sad thing is that's probably going to be like a December 2014 release date.
Yeah, I don't see that coming until late.
Which makes sense, but I just want it now.
So much.
I'm just curious if they're gonna do those daily announcements or weekly announcements.
Yeah. I bet they will. I don't know if they'll do it now, but I think they will when it gets closer.
And I think you and I were talking earlier today. Nintendo sounds like they didn't announce a lot. That doesn't mean they don't have a lot.
Yeah.
They're probably going to be at least maybe 2 or 3 more Nintendo Directs this year.
Yeah.
And so, they may be saving something for August or whatever the next
Yeah.
Nintendo Direct is.
And I think that's what they realized, that people, instead of wanting a major blowout, which we all want, but we'd rather hear stuff periodically throughout the year. Like,
Yeah, because normally
they
they
release
release
X-
E3, then
it's a drought.
the next E3, basically.
Yeah. And now they showed X in like February, January, February, and that was out of the blue. And then all these Yoshi games. I think we'll have one in September, October. That will release a couple of games or something.
I guess then that's maybe a better strategy to get people a little bit excited throughout the year instead of getting people overly hyped and hoping that holds them for
Yeah.
a whole bunch of months. Sometimes they may announce things a little later on.
Yeah.
So it's a different strategy and it may work, even though maybe E3 a little bit.
Yeah. Well, now, here. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jim.
Well, they're with their whole change in their E3 strategy, it looks like that's what they're going to start to do. Is kind of spread out their announcements throughout the year, rather than just maybe having some big announcements, huge announcements at E3, then maybe a couple of announcements toward the end of the year.
I mean, if I can see them, especially doing that more next year, is announce a whole bunch of games the first half, and then have them playable E3, and really not announce anything new, and then
Or Zelda.
go.
No, but it's interesting not to ask not a hard question, but a bad question. Third party is pretty much tentatively gone with the exception of Sega and Ubisoft and Call of Duty. There's not a whole lot there. Do you think next year until Mario Kart will be a pretty much dried up season for the first 3 or 4 months? Because I'm hoping Mario comes out by April.
Well, I think I recently read something like earlier today that Iwata was saying, I think it was Iwata, was saying that there are more unannounced third-party titles out there.
Good.
So I think there's more third-party wise that we really don't know about.
Dude, go ahead.
No, I just say that. I really hope so, just because there's some great stuff like Wind Waker, Donkey Kong, and Mario this year, and then Mario Kart in spring. And if there's no third parties, there's not going to be really anything for that. That's going to be a pretty big drought. And then let's say after Mario Kart, what happens until September when the first of the big holidays will start, or October? It's like there's some huge gaps in there, and I think the Directs will announce some games for that. But I don't know. I think it'll just be interesting.
I think we could possibly hear more in like a Nintendo Direct about third parties maybe later this year.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I think we'll hear a lot of like the Donkey Kong for 3DS. It was shown off and released 3 months later. So I think all of a sudden we'll hear about Yoshi Yarn, and they'll be like, it's coming out in March. Yeah, but the Direct will talk about it in like October or November, and it's 4 months later release date. I think we'll see a lot of those titles that are just maybe they show up once or twice and then bam, there it is.
Yeah.
No more picking and fiascos on those games.
Right.
Going back to third party sport, I guess we can kind of look at it in the sense that when the Wii U was announced, third-party type dev kits, they started working on games. So there could have been a lot of starter Wii U games. There wasn't a lot of support for it originally. Then when they saw that it wasn't selling, they could have pulled back. So there could be a lot of half-done, 60% done, 40% done games out there. And some of them were probably abandoned, but there's probably some of them that were just kind of slowly still, instead of coming out, or would have came out like March or April, but just kind of just slowly working on them and maybe release some later instead of totally abandoning them. So there could be a lot of third-party, not a lot, but more third-party games out there that are kind of just in limbo waiting to see what happens.
Right. And then once things start to pick up, and they say, okay, well, let's...
Because you got probably almost a lot of people were developing for the Wii U. Because it was new, they're probably doing it, testing it, creating things, and developing things, and then as the months went on, like, well, Wii's not selling well, very well, so there's no reason for us to push this. But they may have an idea, a concept out there, something in the works. So,
yeah. Well, and it's interesting you say that because, like, with the DS, developers had all these cool ideas, but no one really knew how to use it, and Nintendo had to step in and showed off, like, a year later how to really make a good 3DS game with a touchscreen. And even though there's some cool Nintendo games with the Wii U gamepad, there's still not that one title that just showcases it perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, there's some cool ideas, but I don't think we have that one game that proves the system. I mean, Zombie U is awesome. I mean, there's a lot of amazing games, but I think developers are still trying to figure out how to utilize it. And like the DS, that took close to a year and a half. And then once people understood it, it was a flood of incredible titles, unique titles. So I hope that's what happens. And like we talked earlier, it seems like Nintendo's not showing off unique features to the gamepad anymore. Like, their tech demos were awesome. They had all these incredible ideas, like the golf. And there's nothing coming out like that. It's just using the Wii U gamepad in a traditional sense to add, not to utilize it. It just to add to their already traditional gameplays.
It would be awesome to have like a good Mario Golf title.
Oh yes, it would be awesome. But I'm hoping that happens, and maybe Pikmin will be that. I don't know what that title would be, but I think 3DS. I think third-party developers just need to be shown how and what can be done.
Yeah, because if it's not selling well, they're not going to throw a whole bunch of time and money. It doesn't mean they're not working on it. Like EA's probably fiddling around with it. Everyone's probably fiddling around with it. They just don't know what to do with it, or they don't want to spend the time as of right now. It doesn't mean that it's abandoned. They probably have projects and ideas in their head, and just like, oh, we're going to wait. We're just going to slowly work on this, maybe throw some of our new programmers, whatever, added, and see what they're on with it. Because right now they don't have that urgency to get games out because it's not selling very well.
Well, like Microsoft has already started their development of the sequel of Zombie U. Yeah, they said they're working on prototypes for that. Not saying it's going to come out soon, but
what worries me though, with all the smart glass and stuff for the Xbox One, if it will be developed for that primarily and then get ported to the Wii U. Because they said it may not stay exclusive when Zombie U came out. Not that would happen, but that game Zombie U was an amazing game.
It had a lot of things here. And
Oh yeah.
I think it was a great start though.
Yeah, it was a great launch title. If it was released a year
better than Red Steel for
Most games are better than Red Steel, James.
As far as smart glass though, I'm not convinced that
I'm not either.
Real great.
No. Yeah, I agree. What's interesting though, we haven't heard of 2 gamepads yet on the Wii U. You'd think they would have demoed something, but then it dawned on me. Let's say at this point they release a 2 gamepad game and they sell gamepads separately, and then a couple 100,000 families buy a Wii U gamepad for their Wii. Because they don't understand the Wii U gamepad is just for the Wii U.
Yeah.
And so there's going to be insane product confusion. It'll just be terrible publicity.
Yeah.
And so I just don't think they're ready yet. But
I don't think the Wii U market's
I can buy it.
There's my gamepad. What happened with Wii U?
yeah, it would be a disaster because already people all over are talking about they don't understand that Wii U games can be played on the Wii.
Yeah.
And I think the Xbox will have that problem too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still want them to continue advance. I thought we'd hear about the summer update. What's up?
The Xbox is Xbox One, one device, but you can't play your old games.
That is true.
So you still need 2 Xboxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to ask them that tomorrow.
Well, what did you guys think about Reggie coming on stage and talking about how we need to play the games, and they talk about the audience listening to all the media there, and to talk about the core experience and everything? It seemed very different than most presentations. He was just asking us to truly just play the games, understand the games, and report on it, instead of all this fluff, all this, console wars, all that sort of graphics, not as good graphics, stuff like that.
Yeah, it seemed like that was kind of the theme of everyone at Nintendo. Iwata talked about it, Miyamoto talked about it. It's all about the games. It doesn't matter what the system is. About creating good games, and good games, enjoyable games, will sell systems. And that's what I think Reggie wanted to get through us, because a lot of the media has been all about the Wii U's Doom, it's the next Sega Saturn, all this stuff, and he just wants us just to focus on what we Dreamcast. Focus on what we.
Saturn looking good.
Yeah, I'm not really good either. That could have led us to Dreamcast. But just focus on what we're here to do, is report on games, play games, educate people about it. He's kind of trying to reel us back in of what we're here to do.
Well, people base console generations now on graphics. And that if the graphics don't advance and they're not up to par with everything else, then it's not next gen. But to me, I don't feel that's true, because since games have begun, graphics have advanced, but technology was advancing by leaps and bounds. And now that those differences are getting less and less. And it's about being a new console. It's not like they just took the Wii and added the remote. It's a completely new console. I don't know. They just say that the Wii U is not next gen, and I disagree entirely. Because I don't care about the graphics, the games. I don't. It's new hardware.
Yeah. No, I agree. New hardware, and I think people lose sight of, even if Nintendo made a system less powerful than the Wii U, the games are still going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at Galaxy. That game blew my mind. And everyone hated the Wii.
You said that very poetically.
So I'm getting kind of tired. No, it really did. And I'm just saying, like, Mario Kart. To me, that's better than I would have imagined Mario Kart looking ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they think it's only as powerful as 360 PS3, that's fine. But that game looks darn good. And think of what they're going to do with whatever a true 3D Mario comes out, like Galaxy in the vein of that. Like, that's going to turn some heads. And I think we're still in the first year of Wii U, so I think Mario Kart's just of what's to come. And that's in the early stages of it.
There's 3D Mario that, like, we can jump in the cart too and stuff. Galaxy mixed with Galaxy mixed with. If you have a distance to go, jump in the car.
You jump in a car, and then if you get pissed off with one here, you pull brawl or backwards.
I definitely think as time goes on, Nintendo is just gonna come out with these amazing games, and they're gonna look great, they're gonna play great, and it's gonna blow a lot of people away.
I think something I've been echoing for a while. I even echoed last night, and I'm glad that Kevin's here. I couldn't count Eli, but he just plays pinball on his PlayStation 3. Like, there is room for 2 people to have 2 consoles.
Oh yeah.
Because, like, I don't know about. Again, I keep saying that I was exhausted after the 360 presentation. It's because it was shooter after shooter after shooter, and that's what I love about Nintendo. Yeah. They bring different game experience. They're not shooters. majority of PlayStation games are shooters or violent action adventure games. They have other games. The majority of them of 360 games, especially the majority of Microsoft games, are shooters. And I don't understand why there can't be both. Why can't you have like Nintendo product that you have Mario Kart, Brawl, Mario titles, Pikmin titles that are really awesome, amazing, fun games, but they're not intense shooters like everything else. And you can go and have your PlayStation 4 or Xbox One for your shooters. Why can't they coexist?
No, I agree. And I think we'll see more coexisting. Like, the only thing I don't like when people say, yeah, I'll get my PS4, but I'll get the Wii U for those other games. It's like, what's great about Nintendo is the color palettes, the addicting gameplay, the quality of the gameplay experience. And, I mean, the visuals are amazing for what it can do. And I just wish people would look, I don't know, I feel like...
And this goes back to, I think, what they're trying to say this week is look at the game.
Yeah.
Don't look at the hardware. Look at what we're creating. Forget about everything else.
Yeah,
Forget about the 8 gigs of RAM. Forget about...
I feel like it's all comparison. It's like, okay, PS4 can do this, and the Wii U can't. That's already 2 marks down in my review. Because it can't do what Metal Gear Solid is. The new Mario, graphics are not good enough. But in reality, the graphics are awesome. You know, but because this, you know...
And I almost want Nintendo to go as far as be like, who cares about sun shining through the window as you walk through the room? Does it make a game fun? No, it doesn't.
That's the way I've always felt. It's like, yes, the graphics can be great and true to life, but if you're not enjoying the game, then what's the point?
And if the color palette isn't more than 3 colors.
Exactly.
Sorry, you know what you're saying.
Okay, Cloudberry Kingdom. It's like, the graphics aren't anything spectacular at all. They're pretty basic, but the game it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's all about the experience and about just.
It's seriously like
creativity.
Like
I mean, there's tons of creativity in the game.
Yes,
and that's what's awesome about it.
The graphics look like somebody just drew something on a piece of paper and like colored it in like.
It very reminiscent of Scribble Knots to me.
Yes, very much.
But the game is just, I could play it for hours. I really could.
And out of all the reviews that have gone through Pure Nintendo throughout the years, I don't think none of them have gotten a high score just because they look good.
Yeah.
I mean, been part of it. They look good, and this was an amazing feeling game.
Yeah.
Or even a game like, I'll go back to Torpedo 2. Like, it looked good, it was nice, but it was nothing. There was no sun shining through the window that looked awesome. It was just a fun, outright game.
Yeah.
And good graphics don't make good games.
Yeah. But I'll tell you one thing Nintendo has in most of their games. Not all games, but they know how to make controls work. Because, man, I know in Mario, you know where he's going to land. You can do these amazing Mario Kart. You feel like everything you do is going to, it's going to work correctly. Control-wise, if that makes sense. Or like even Sonic Transformers, there's still some weird controls and a weird error. I don't know what to call it, error or something, but they always get the gameplay right every time.
Yeah, because I think all 4 of us have been playing Mario titles for over 20 years, and it just still feels the same from all the way from Mario Brothers all the way to this most recent one. But that does remind me, I did find a flaw. Kind of a flaw.
But your tongue.
And it's recent Mario Brothers, and you notice too that there seems to be a weird depth issue.
Oh,
I had trouble finding the warp pipes. Like, I kept jumping over them, around them, and it was just warp pipes. I was like, it's a weird. I don't think
what was great about 3D Land for 3DS, you threw it 3D and you saw that depth instantly. Like you have that, the X, Y, then Z plane. And the Z plane, you can tell exactly what, because you have that Oculus vision. But on the Wii U, you don't understand that, so you're constantly jumping way behind it because there's no depth. And even though it's in 3D space, your eyes can't, relate to that depth. And so we kept missing items, we kept jumping back, and hopefully you'll get used to it and adjust for it. But it took me forever to, like, when James is in the bubble, trying to pop him in the bubble and say, just jumping him forward or back for it. Did you guys have that issue?
To be honest, I got called away before I could
Jay
get
Money.
to Super Mario today. I was in line. I had the controller in hand, and then called for dinner and was like,
You could have ignored that and played it.
Oh.
I think I said when you were ready.
Anyways, I did not get to that game, so.
Yeah, I need to play some more. I played one of the stages, and I guess I kind of do remember it was yesterday having a little bit of issues, but I thought it was just because I was getting used to it.
Well, that's what I thought the first time too. I was
yeah,
like,
so
I
I
must
don't
be kind of slow. I can see his warp pipe. And then when I was playing with Kevin, I realized like we were trying to jump up on these clouds or something, and I kept misjudging.
Yeah.
Or when
Well,
they
and
needed to go.
it doesn't help that obviously you have multiple players on screen, so you're not gonna have behind the back camera. And secondly, it's not on the flat plane, it's not above, it's just at this weird like 30-degree angle.
Mm-hmm.
And so everything just kind of skewed that way.
Mhm.
So
And somehow I jumped around a 90-degree angle.
Hmm.
You remember, like we had that one where you can use a cat and go up on like a conveyor belt. It was back, and you can go up to clouds. Somehow I jumped around into the conveyor belt.
that's cool. I didn't know that.
I don't know how I did that.
Have either of you played just one player on it? Or,
I haven't, not yet, but apparently
so
we had talked about this. There's a way to control it a little bit, the camera, in single player. I haven't figured out how to do
Yeah, that's
multiplayer.
That may be
But
I
if
better.
figured you might be able to.
I don't. It's not like behind. It's still from that perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You can. I don't know if you can twist it or if it's just. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, the guy in front of me was messing with the camera today, and I can't remember what it did. I don't remember if it was like an up and down or left or
Yeah.
right, but
Yeah.
you can adjust the camera a little bit.
Yeah. That could help, but I haven't figured out how to do it in multiplayer. I've done everything on the gamepad, but I just the few people that's on Nintendo's booth weren't that knowledgeable about it. So, but I still think that there's a rumor earlier that, and it's just someone made a theory. I said theory, not a rumor. That it was originally a 3DS game that converted to the Wii U, and I think that could be true.
And that could be why we have that depth issue.
Yeah, I think, and because the assets are exactly the same as 3D Land, and everything just looks a whole lot better. And I like the idea that in a year or two we'll get a full Mario Galaxy, adventure. Because I still don't think this game is a full-on adventure. It's more like micro or shorter levels, almost arcade-like, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But
And that could go back to Nintendo's development team being stretched too thin. They're like, we know we need to get Mario out, and this is the quickest way we can do it, even though we're like halfway through a Mario adventure game.
Yeah.
We can't get it done in time to make people happy. So here, let's quickly throw this out.
And it does look like it was initially developed for the 3DS.
Yeah. And it just dawned on me, and I know this is taking a way step too far back, and I know I'm just tired right now. But it's silly sometimes that we get mad at a company for not making more products for us that we're going to buy.
Mm-hmm.
That just seems so backwards. Like, how dare you not make me products for me to purchase? I know I'm just tired right now.
People argue about like iPhones. Like, how dare you come out with another one already? I just got mine 3 months
We
ago.
invested in their system, so they owe it to us
But
to
why-
come out with good games.
Why do they owe it? I know we trusted them, but like, where in the contract does it say they have to release a game every year? I'm not debating. In the morning, I'm gonna completely disagree with everything I'm saying because I'm seriously tired. But it's funny the arguments we have towards Nintendo, even Sony and Microsoft. It's like they owe us because we pay for their products,
Right.
and it's just I don't know. It's just my mind's going
No,
to this
I
weird
agree.
state.
It's like,
Oh. This is a little bit different, but one way for Nintendo to keep me happy.
more pinball.
Well, yeah, but no, I love these classic titles that they're selling me for 30 cents.
Yes.
I mean, I just love those games.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
What else? Is there anything else?
Um,
Is that all the games?
I played some Luigi.
Super Mario, Super Luigi U.
That was kind of fun.
I actually played a similar game a few months ago at the launch of Luigi.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same except different stuff.
Yeah, I'm not quite sold on it, but again, I've only played like a couple.
And what sucks about that game too, I actually think it's a cool idea, but again, product confusion. Even though it's Luigi in the name, I still heard people say, "So what exactly is this? It's not the same game as before."
Right.
And now it's like, well, if you have the game, you can download it, but there's also a copy that's released a month later that's more expensive. That it's just kind of this weird. I think people are used to the Wii. It was so simple.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you're getting, and you know how to play it. My grandparents could play it. And the Wii U, I just don't think people outside the core can quite pick up on and understand it like we do. But again,
they're like, what does DLC mean?
Yeah.
Wonderful 101 was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well,
I wasn't convinced from the video, but when I got to play and got used to the controls, that's a lot of fun.
it's a new demo than last year, wasn't
They did
it?
a good job with the gamepad, I think, too, being able to...
Is it a new demo from last year, Eli?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good. I think that'll be good. The one thing is that game should have came out already. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
It's been it's a second E3. I don't know. I think it's going to be an incredible game, but
It's been delayed too long.
what I'm worried about it's going to be an amazing game. It's going to be deeper than people think. But sometimes I feel in the back of my mind that it should be an arcade game or like an eShop game, even though it's not and it shouldn't be. Sometimes I glance at it and be like, oh, that'll be $15, even though I know it should be 60.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I've heard, it should be 60. But I think people won't realize the value of it. The face value isn't there.
I can agree. Because I wasn't convinced until I actually played it. When I played it, I was like, this is a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I think we should start a petition to get the ESA not to allow a game be playable at 2 E3s.
So do my
One E3.
They do that all the time.
I mean, like, it could be announced, like, shown off, like Halo. They announced a Halo trailer, so they can have playable next E3, have it out in November. Same thing with Zelda, they could have had a trailer, playable next E3, and then out in, like, November. Not the trailer, playable, possibly playable again, and then out next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Pikmin 3 and Wonderful 101, I think, should have been released a while ago.
Yeah, and I honestly think that would help everything.
And they're both going to be great games regardless.
Yeah.
But it's just been way too long.
Yeah, no, I agree. And there's comes to a point that you hear too much about a game, even though it may not be a bunch of new information, but you hear too much of the same thing that you just get a little bored and a little jaded.
They did change the name of the Wonderful 101s.
They actually did. It was called something else originally. What was it?
Project something?
Project
101?
X.
No.
Project
I
sounds
think
like
it's Project.
anyways.
Something. I guess that's a good time to stop.
Okay.
Or we're going to fall asleep while we're talking.
But I think it's been a good show, real quick.
Yeah.
I think Nintendo's done. I think it was everyone blew everything out of proportion. It wasn't Nintendo's best E3, but it was by far not their worst. I think they did.
Nintendo was
it was
there.
adequate.
That's the thing. Like, anyone who says Nintendo wasn't there, that they haven't been to their booth and seen all the
Absolutely.
people that are there.
And like James said, they did a commendable job, I think, for the stuff they could show.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, honestly, if they could show more, they probably would. But it may not have been up to snuff, or it may just be there. But I think they handled everything well, and they're doing some really cool stuff at their booths. Real quick, except for the 3DS. I can't stand that booth babes have the 3DSs, and if you have any questions, they don't know. Why? And then if I want
And
to
then
play...
they complain about having to stand there.
I
I'm
know.
Like, I'll walk
And they're
with
like,
you.
am I left?
But
It's
they
just,
wouldn't do
it's
that with it.
frustrating because, like, I want to play Zelda. I have to go find business. Hey, what do you have?
Yeah.
No, I don't want Yoshi. I already played that.
Oh,
And it's
that's
not in
annoying.
it's not in a central place. You have to walk around their entire booth. It just drives me crazy. That's my rant.
Well, those of you who haven't attended E3, I don't know if it's like this in Microsoft or Sony's booth, but first party Nintendo demonstrators don't know anything because they're just hired hands.
Yeah.
But it's when you go out into the third party where you actually may be being led through the demo by the actual
writer or a programmer or artist.
Now, there's a couple people that Nintendo that you can tell have played it or have a few days experience. But even then, they only can answer general questions. Like the Pikmin, he knew what he was talking about, did not know anything outside of the demo as far as information, even stuff that had already been released months in the past. He only knew specifically what he's been trained to know, which was good. He answered a lot of my questions, but beyond the scope of the demo, he knew nothing. And sometimes that's frustrating, like James says. But
And I wonder if that's why you get some of the demonstrators that have like all this like non-game related like small talk. And like they just like talk to you about things that are completely unrelated.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, can we talk about the game, maybe?
the worst is when you're playing like the 3DS booth manager there and you're playing, she's like, "Free Nintendo." Kevin Klein! And I'm like, trying to play Zelda, woman. Simmer down. Don't talk to me, I want to play. Because it's honestly weird for them. They're just standing there in front of you, watching you.
And you're timed, you have 10 minutes.
I know, and they're connected by tethers to their waist to these 3-foot cables where you're playing, so they can't go anywhere but stand directly, and it's like, I look up, I make eye contact, look down.
This is awkward.
It's a really awkward situation, and some of them are really nice. Some of them you can actually talk to and have fun, and they'll talk about some crazy things they've seen and stuff. But yeah.
I only go to that one.
I did witness somebody on the show floor try and steal one of those Luigi water bottles from one of the attendants.
That's awesome. Or that's awful. I don't know. Did he get away with it?
No, because the guy was like, "Stop! That's mine." Anyways, so that was kind of interesting. But
That's good. Good show.
Good job.
yeah, definitely a good show.
Anyways, thanks for joining us now or later or tomorrow. We have our final one tomorrow at same time.
1:30.